The post-Soviet states, also collectively known as the former Soviet Union or former Soviet republics, are the 15 independent states that emerged from the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics in its dissolution in December 1991, with Russia internationally recognized as the successor state to the Soviet Union. On March 11, 1990, Lithuania was the first to declare its independence, with Estonia and Latvia following suit in August 1991. All three Baltic states claimed continuity from the original states that existed prior to their annexation by the Soviet Union in 1944 and were admitted to the United Nations on 17 September 1991. The remaining 12 republics all subsequently seceded. 12 of the 15 states, excluding the Baltic states, initially formed the CIS and most joined CSTO, while the Baltic states focused on European Union and NATO membership. Country comparison. States and geographical groupings. The 15 post-Soviet states are typically divided into the following 5 groupings. Each of these regions has its own common set of traits, owing not only to geographic and cultural factors but also to the region's history in relation to Russia. In addition, there are a number of de facto independent but internationally unrecognized states. General statistics. Area includes land and water. Current leaders, heads of state, heads of government. Economy. The dissolution of the Soviet Union took place as a result and against the backdrop of general economic stagnation, even regression, as the Gosplan, which had set up production chains to cross SSR lines, broke down. The inter-republic economic connections were also disrupted, leading to even more serious breakdown of the post-Soviet economies. Most of the formerly Soviet states began the transition to a market economy in 1991 and made efforts to rebuild and restructure their economic systems, with varying results. The process triggered a severe transition decline, with gross domestic product dropping by more than 40% between 1990 and 1995. This decline in GDP was much more intense than the 27% decline that the United States suffered in the wake of the Great Depression between 1930 and 1934. The reconfiguration of public finance in compliance with the principles of market economy resulted in dramatically reduced spending on health, education and other social programs, leading to a sharp increase in poverty. The economic shocks associated with wholesale privatization resulted in the deaths of roughly 1 million working-age individuals throughout the former Soviet bloc in the 1990s. The initial transition decline was eventually arrested by the cumulative effect of market reforms, and after 1995 the economy in the post-Soviet states began to recover, with GDP switching from negative to positive growth rates. By 2007, 10 of the 15 post-Soviet states had reached GDP greater than what they had in 1991. Only Moldova, Ukraine, Georgia, Kyrgyzstan, and Tajikistan had GDP significantly below the 1991 level. The recovery in Russia was marginal, with GDP in 2006-2007 just nudging above the 1991 level. This could be perceived as failure of capitalism to improve the standard of living in Russia, and combined with the aftershocks of the 1998 economic crisis, it led to a return of more interventionist economic policies by Vladimir Putin's administration. Change in gross domestic product in constant prices 1991 to 2015 * economy of most Soviet republics started to decline in 1989-1990. Thus indices for 1991 don't match pre-reform maximums. The year when GDP decline switched to GDP growth. List of the present gross domestic product. Developmental progress. The post-Soviet states listed according to the Human Development Index scores. Very high human development. Estonia, 0.846. Lithuania, 0.818. Latvia, 0.814. High human development. Belarus, 0.793. Russia, 0.788. Kazakhstan, 0.754. Georgia, 0.745. Ukraine, 0.740. Azerbaijan, 0.734. Armenia, 0.729. Medium human development. Turkmenistan, 0.698. Moldova, 0.660. Uzbekistan, 0.654. Kyrgyzstan, 0.622. Tajikistan, 0.622. Regional organizations. A number of regional organizations and cooperating blocs have sprung up since the dissolution of the Soviet Union. Only organizations that are mainly composed of post-Soviet states are listed in this section. Organizations with wider memberships are not discussed. The 15 post-Soviet states are divided in the participation to the regional blocs. Belarus, Russia, and Ukraine founded the Commonwealth of Independent States in December 1991. It was conceived as a successor organization to the USSR, and as of December 1993 it included 12 of the 15 former Soviet republics. It currently consists of 9 of the 15 former Soviet republics with one participating state and one associate state. Georgia withdrew from the CIS in August 2008. The 3 Baltic states have not sought membership to any of these post-Soviet organizations, seeking and achieving membership in the European Union and NATO instead. The sole exception to the above has been the recent membership in the Community of Democratic Choice. The Central Asian states of Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and Uzbekistan are members of the CIS and participate in several regional organizations that have Russia as a primary mover. Such organizations of the Eurasian Economic Community, Collective Security Treaty Organization, and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. The last 2 groups only became distinct once Uzbekistan withdrew from Guam and sought membership in Eurosec and CSTO. Armenia, besides its membership in CIS, participates in Collective Security Treaty Organization and the Eurasian Economic Union. Ukraine, Moldova, and Azerbaijan participate in the CIS, but other than that they mostly cooperate within regional organizations that are not dominated by Russia. Such organizations are Guam and the Community of Democratic Choice. Although Ukraine is one of the 3 founding countries of the CIS, it is legally not a member because it has never ratified the 1993 CIS Charter. Turkmenistan is an associate member of CIS and a member in the Economic Cooperation Organization. It has not sought closer integration in any of the other Western or post-Soviet organizations. Georgia notified the CIS executive bodies of its decision to leave the regional organization, and according to the CIS Charter this decision went into force 12 months after the notification date. Commonwealth of Independent States. The Commonwealth of Independent States consists of 11 former Soviet republics that differ in the membership status. As of December 2010, 9 countries have ratified the CIS Charter and are full CIS members. 1 country is an associate member. 1 country is a founding and participating country, but legally not a member country, and 1 country left the organization in 2009. In 2014, Ukraine declined its CIS chairmanship and considered withdrawal from the organization. In 1994, the CIS countries agreed to create a free trade area, but the agreements were never signed. On October 19, 2011, Armenia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Moldova, Russia, Tajikistan, and Ukraine signed a free trade agreement. Uzbekistan joined the Free Trade Area in 2013. Eurasian Economic Community. The Eurasian Economic Community, formerly the CIS Customs Union, was established by Russia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan. Ukraine and Moldova have observer status in the community. However, Ukraine has declared its desire not to become a full member state, because having common borders with the rest of the community is a prerequisite for full membership. Moldova is barred from seeking it. Uzbekistan applied for membership in October 2005, when the process of merging Central Asian Cooperation Organization and the Eurasian Economic Community began. It joined on the 25th of January 2006. Uzbekistan subsequently suspended its membership in 2008. On the 10th of October 2014, an agreement on the termination of the Eurasian Economic Community was signed in Minsk after a session of the Interstate Council of the EAEC. The Eurasian Economic Community was terminated from the 1st of January 2015 in connection with the launch of the Eurasian Economic Union, Customs Union of Belarus, Kazakhstan and Russia. Belarus, Kazakhstan created a customs union that entered into force in July 2010. Ukraine, Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan indicated interest in joining at the time. Russia has been eager for Armenia, Moldova and Ukraine to join the customs union instead of the European Union, and the Moldovan breakaway state of Transnistria has supported this. In 2013, Kyrgyzstan and Armenia announced plans to seek membership, but division over the issue in Ukraine led to the 2014 Ukrainian revolution after the Ukrainian government backed out of the EU Eastern Partnership in favor of the Union. In 2014, voters in the Moldovan autonomous region of Gagauzia rejected closer ties to the EU in favor of the Union. On the 1st of January 2012, Russia, Kazakhstan and Belarus established the single economic space, which ensures the effective functioning of a single market for goods, services, capital and labor, and to establish coherent industrial, transport, energy and agricultural policies. The agreement included a roadmap for future integration and established the Eurasian Economic Commission. The Eurasian Economic Commission serves as the regulatory agency for the Eurasian Customs Union, the Single Economic Space and the Eurasian Economic Union. Eurasian Economic Union. The Eurasian Economic Union is an economic union of post-Soviet states. The treaty aiming for the establishment of the EEU was signed on the 29th of May 2014 by the leaders of Belarus, Kazakhstan and Russia, and came into force on the 1st of January 2015. Treaties aiming for Armenia's and Kyrgyzstan's accession to the Eurasian Economic Union were signed on 9 October 2014 and the 23rd of December respectively. Armenia's accession treaty came into force on the 2nd of January 2015. Although Kyrgyzstan's accession treaty will not come into force until May 2015, provided it has been ratified, it will participate in the EEU from the day of its establishment as an acceding state. Collective Security Treaty Organization. 7 CIS member states, namely Russia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan and Armenia, have enhanced the military cooperation, establishing the Collective Security Treaty Organization, this being an expansion of the previous Collective Security Treaty. Uzbekistan, which withdrew from the CSD in 1999, joined Guam. Then in 2005 it withdrew from Guam and joined the CSDO in 2006. On 28 June 2012, Uzbekistan suspended its membership in the CSDO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. 3 former Soviet states are members of NATO: Estonia, Latvia and Lithuania. Georgia, where both public opinion and the ruling government favor NATO membership, is in the intensified dialogue program with NATO. In Ukraine, after the 2010 electoral victory of Viktor Yanukovych, the government officially declared neutrality and no longer seeks NATO membership, as it did after the Orange Revolution and the presidency of Viktor Yushchenko. Guam. 4 member states, namely Georgia, Ukraine, Azerbaijan and Moldova, established the Guam Group that was largely seen as intending to counter Russian dominance in the region. Notably, these 4 nations do not participate in any of the other regional organizations that sprang up in the region since the dissolution of the Soviet Union. Union of Russia and Belarus. The Union of Russia and Belarus was originally formed on the 2nd of April 1996 under the name Commonwealth of Russia and Belarus, before being tightened further on the 8th of December 1999. It was initiated by the President of Belarus, Alexander Lukashenko. On paper, the Union of Russia and Belarus intends further integration, beyond the scope of mere cooperation, including the introduction of the ruble as a common currency. Other regional organizations. Economic Cooperation Organization. The Economic Cooperation Organization was originally formed in 1985 by Turkey, Iran and Pakistan, but in 1992 the organization was expanded to include Afghanistan and the 6 primarily Muslim former Soviet republics: Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan. Community of Democratic Choice. The Community of Democratic Choice was formed in December 2005 at the primary instigation of Ukraine and Georgia, and composed of 6 post-Soviet states and 3 other countries of Eastern and Central Europe. The Black Sea Forum is a closely related organization, just like Guam before it. This forum is largely seen as intending to counteract Russian influence in the area. This is the only international forum centered in the post-Soviet space in which the Baltic states also participate. In addition, the other 3 post-Soviet states in it are all members of Guam. Shanghai Cooperation Organization. The Shanghai Cooperation Organization is composed of China and 5 post-Soviet states, namely Russia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan and Uzbekistan. The organization was founded in 2001, though its predecessor, the Shanghai Five Grouping, has existed since 1996. Its aims revolve around security-related issues. For economic cooperation, Central European Free Trade Agreement with Moldova provides in Western Europe for non-EU members. This alliance an economical organization with strong cooperation with the European Union. For countries that do not want to participate in Eurosec centered on Russia but that are seeking alliances to the West, even if Moldova is the only CEFTA country that is still within a weakening CIS. It no longer participates to the CSDO for most of the common security policy but can still benefit from the free trade area, notably with Romania, Bulgaria. Black Sea economic cooperation with Russia, Georgia, Ukraine, Azerbaijan, Moldova, Turkey, Albania, Greece, Romania, Bulgaria, Serbia and Armenia. The European Union with the 3 Baltic countries that were the first ones to declare independence from the former USSR and have never joined CIS. After the collapse of USSR. for Political Integration and Security Alliances Stability Pact for Southeastern Europe with Moldova. This organization largely cooperates with NATO, and is related to the group of observers at Western European Union, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, for Baltic countries, Poland, and Central European countries that have also joined the EU. The other remaining countries are those part of the former Yugoslavia, but the recent conflict and political tensions still does not allow them to cooperate efficiently for the political integration and for their mutual security. In addition, they still do not have full sovereignty in this domain. They still need to find an internal stability, and they can collaborate economically with the help of other organizations focusing on economy or political cooperation and development. However, a more limited cooperation for security is possible through the membership to the larger Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe. The only exception is Belarus, that still rejects political integration and all security alliances with NATO, OSCE, WEU or other countries in Europe other than Russia. In other domains, Southeast European Cooperation Process with Moldova, Southeast European Cooperative Initiative with Moldova, Central European Initiative with Moldova, Ukraine and Belarus. It is the only regional organization where Belarus is still a member. Black Sea Forum for Partnership and Dialogue with Georgia, Ukraine, Azerbaijan, Moldova and Armenia. However, this organization does not focus on helping countries to join the EU, but reaching common standards and good governance and internal stability and democracy, like in the K. Merging the K and BSF is desired by Central European countries that are members of both. It would like to simplify the development process, and also members of the Council of Europe that federates all European efforts of political cooperation and development through the various regional organizations. Community for Democracy and Human Rights. Apart from above, the former Soviet republics also hold membership in a number of multinational organizations such as Baltic Basketball League, FIBA, FIFA, International Ice Hockey Federation, International Olympic Committee, International Paralympic Committee, Continental Hockey League, Miss Universe, UNESCO, World Health Organization, World Trade Organization,